will be graduating from the academy August 27th, next Thursday, so a bunch of us are going to go down and witness that. Then he'll start his FTO process. Ripito and Jordan Stevens are currently in MBO program. They're doing great. Jordan Stevens is about to enter his third phase and he'll be cut loose. And Ripito has 2 more, but so far he's doing great too. We are currently hiring, preferably lateral officers, but we'll look at new hires, just the time constraints is in some of the academy, but the training is better to have somebody that's readily available. We have to replace Officer Fletcher since he's retiring next month, so if he's going to need a big void, we got to get his spot filled in. So,
How long does it take to, if you hire somebody off the street, no qualifications at all?
you're looking at least a year by the time they do all their testing and all the requirements met, and then they have to go to the academy and then come back and go to the 16-week minimum FTO program. And they go
You get paid while they're training.
Yes,
Do they still, they have to sign the contract?
they still make, yes, we do have contracts to tell us. Community outreach, which is constantly ongoing. We just recently had our Come with the Cop at Dairy Queen last week, and that was a huge success. So we'll probably do something like that again, but we will be starting off Coffee with the Cop again next month and go with that. And then mixing in maybe another Come with the Cop later on a Friday night or something. Kids don't have to get up early for school the next day.
And that can be coming with council member too, so you all are
Yeah.
welcome to come to any of these
We did
events.
get
They're actually a lot of
us
fun.
some free ice cream. It wasn't bad. I may have purposely messed up my daughter, so I got to eat that.
But yeah, you all are always welcome to those when they take place.
Lastly, we received our KLC audit. We got 100% on that. That's based on the training and policy that we have in place for our officers. It's the first 100 that we've ever got from the League of Cities. So I'm pretty proud of that. I'm pretty proud of the guys that I have working for me and all the work that went in, making sure we get that 100. They'll come down next month and present us with a plaque and making sure that that's the first 100 school that we've had in the history of the police department. So,
That's awesome.
again, that goes after
Yep.
accreditation policy.
That's good stuff.
And then to touch on this month's misconceptions on Flock, there's no Bluetooth capabilities. That's the norm going around these days, connected to your phones. You can literally go and park under a Flock camera and search for Bluetooth signals, and you will not find the Flock camera. But I don't know where that one came from, but that's the new theory, is it's connected to your cell phone. That it can listen to people. What the misconception is Flock does offer a gunshot detection, which is a big speaker, and you'll see them in Lexington on different things. It hangs off the pole. It's all that is gunshot detection. If there's something similar to gunshots in that area, or if officers and dispatchers, there's possible gunshots. We don't have anything like that, and they're not listening devices. It's for the sound of the gunshot. And again, go back to city tax. It's not paid with city taxes, and I was going to explain to him our success stories are on our Facebook page. There is no document that is created for that, but if you cruise through the Facebook page in the past, you will see the success stories of Flock on the public Facebook page. And then lastly, there's no fines. It's not a speeding camera, not a seatbelt camera. That's the other one to look around. We're just waiting to start sending out fines to people for not wearing their seatbelt or for driving too fast. And those license plate readers obviously don't do that. So that's this month's myths that are floating around social media. Does anybody have any questions?
So when you're driving and it shows a little camera on your, Waze or Apple or Google, and it'll say mobile police.
Yeah.
Now there are cameras out there that are for speeding and things like that, but that is different than a Flock, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So Kentucky is not allowed to have speed cameras. What they have exempted is construction speed zone cameras.
Gotcha.
And even that has to be monitored by a police officer that's in the construction zone. So that's what you see on Waze or whatever, it'll flash a mobile police camera or whatever. There's a camera, and when those lights are flashing, that means it's on, and there's an officer probably 50 yards up, and he's getting a picture of the car that just sped past and the speed and all that. And then he also has to confirm that that's the car. We don't have that, that's the speed camera.
But that's what,
the only
that's what they're
exception.
talking about
Yes,
in
ma'am,
those
that's the only
situations.
exception. Any other questions?
Did you go in and look at Flock today for any reason?
No, sir.
So there's days where nobody's even looking at it.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
it's a tool in the event you need to access the information that's been contained from that tool in an investigation.
Yes, and I'm almost 100% certain that none of my detectives or officers logged in Flock today because there was no calls for service that required us to log in the Flock system today, so.
Okay. Any questions from council?
I've heard rumors that ICE is in town.
That ICE is, so that is another social media myth.
Yeah.
Somebody decided to take pictures
Crazy.
of some of our detectives that were out doing something unrelated, that just happened to be meeting and talking, and it went all over social media that ICE was in town. And I assure you, ICE was not in town. It was Mount Sterling detectives that were working on an unrelated case that had nothing to do with illegal immigration or ICE.
Just thought we'd get that on the record.
That is on the record, and again, it's just the common monthly misconceptions floating on social media.
Well, Chief, I convey it to you all the time, and I know I speak on behalf of council, how proud we are of the Mount Sterling Police. You are doing amazing work. We're very lucky to live in a community that takes safety and security seriously and that puts it as a priority. And we hope that, our citizens will continue to see that. So I know it is frustrating to see just the false information that continues to be put out on social media. So don't let that affect you all. You'll just continue to do the wonderful work you're doing.
We'll keep going forward, and I know all my officers, I speak for them, that we appreciate the mayor and the city council that we have that supports us, and the community at all, that 99.9% of the community supports us. So
Yeah.
we appreciate it, and we don't forget that, so thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all for all the hard work.
Thank you.
All right. Director of Public Works, Nathan Boston.
Had to get out there, I felt like I was on an airplane. Good evening, you all. We got the water fixed down at Farmers Market. Got the Adelia Trail paved back and the sidewalk paved, so that's all done. We got all the trees trimmed around town except for one subdivision, so we're holding off on it. I was out the last 2 weeks and the guys got the storm last Tuesday and they had 10 trees down, so they got them all out of the way, and we've been picking up piles that the residents have set out since yesterday. Picked up 36 truckloads since yesterday. So, going to keep doing that all week, just going around picking them up as people set them out. And I'm getting so many calls from county residents. This is for city residents only. I mean, I'm getting them from Fox Road, Sawmill Road, so I just, if the paper will put that out, it's really just for city residents that we're doing. We've been doing some training, did 11 courses on some refresher training with the guys. Got all those if you want to hear them. We built 12 potholes and had 6 signs to replace, 2 stops and 4 parking signs. And we got the solar telephone charging station back there. So,
Thank you.
Dr. Keynes, yeah, we knew you'd be happy with that.
I don't know if you noticed it yet or not, but it's
Oh, I did
and it's
notice.
working.
Good, yeah.
Y'all have anything for me?
When's the last time we've been in the creek?
It's been a while. Been a while. Why, you know something I need?
No, just asking a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get in there, but it's been busy. So,
I'm busy. I want to read something I received today from a citizen. I just wanted to send a note of gratitude regarding your city workers. I looked out the window and saw a city crew loading up our piles of storm debris. We had so many piles and felt awful leaving so much for the city to remove. The crew was awesome. They loaded up all our piles with ease and even raked up the small stuff. Very well done. Thank you. We appreciate the hard work the city puts in to keep our community safe and clean. So that was sent. So you all are appreciated too, not just by us, but by the
I
citizens.
know we're not the police,
So
but I appreciate
you all are. So, great job. Great job with the storm response. Thank you. Next, Code Enforcement Officer, Mike McGuire.
Good evening, Mayor.
Hey, Mike.
We got 70 violations this month, or since last meeting on there. To break those down, we had 23 mows, 25 bulky, 8 parking, 2 of each of these camper, tent, chicken and pigeons, noises, trees, and structural, and then 1 of mow, curb, trash can, and safety. With the ABC, we gave out 1 license with the St. Joseph Hospital with their golf scramble that actually got canceled at Irish Hills this month. And just keeping Nathan busy best I can. Anybody have any questions for me?
You continue to do a great job. Thank you. You're off to a great start.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Building Inspector, Jim Johnson.
Good evening.
Hey, Jim.
Last 30 days, we got 10 permits. 4 went through zoning board of adjustment. There were 2 demos, 1 at 500 East High ongoing, and then 711 Maysville. And we've got a dumpster on the sidewalk, we got 2 renovation and additions, and we got 1 zoning change coming up.
Excellent.
And nothing from, still nothing, no action from the West Main request that came before planning and zoning. So if you all, I know that you all have received some phone calls on that, but that has not made its way back to planning and zoning yet.
Still working
So,
on site plan.
yeah. Okay. Thanks, Jim. City Clerk,
I don't have any update this
you don't have any updates? Okay. For me, I've got quite a bit on your all schedule. I just put it in your on your desk. This is what's coming up for the next month. I do want to mention just a few things off of my brief sheet for you. Columbia Gas Neighborhood Project continues. As you can see, they've got quite a bit cut up along the East High, North Queen, Harrison area. So that project is moving forward on schedule though. So hopefully that will wrap up here in the next few months. The December is the deadline on that project. The facade grants, if you have not noticed, boy, those facade grants, these business owners who awarded those really took it to the next level. It looks great on Main Street, and they have really gotten creative with the monies that they applied for, and that's a great program. I so appreciate you all supporting that program and helping small businesses out. The street repaving, as you can see, Roger, I knew that was big on your list. You came back home from vacation. Wynn Street, Big Staff has completed repaving. And of course, Old Silo and Silver Lake, those were both, that section was completed too. So the only thing left to repave or on our paving schedule is Spring Street. That's going to be a large project, and we still have not worked out final details with the contractor on that. We will take opportunities as they present themselves, as money presents itself in the budget, to maybe do some smaller jobs here before the end of the year. So, as always, if you see anything that's a concern or want to know when a street is in a rotation, I know you get questions from citizens, let us know. There's a lot of reasons we don't move forward with repaving, because if we know a gas project's coming up, obviously we're going to hold off on paving until they can get utility projects and stuff out of the way. So there is a master plan. We do have that online. You can go to our website and you can see what our repaving schedule has looked like since 2019 there. City Hall, we closed on September 7th, which is Labor Day. No changes to personnel over the past month. I did put on your desk, this is a media release that you may have seen, and the word is out. The judge and I did go down to the senior center and brief them. But beginning on October 1st, the Gads Regional Kitchen will provide hot meals, congregate meals to our seniors at the senior center on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday only. Wednesday, they will not be providing meals. So Judge and I have talked. He's going to open the center from 10 to 1 on those days. And we're going to figure out a plan to feed our seniors for that Wednesday. So I'm going to take it on myself to feed them out of my pocket. I think the judge is going to open up his pocketbook and try to feed them. We're going to ask some of our civic organizations if they'll chip in. I'm going to approach the Ministerial Association and see if they'll help. But within the community, I think we can find folks that will chip in some money to try to help our seniors be able to get a meal on that Wednesday. So just put that out to you so you all know what's coming. The seniors have received that very well. They've been very understanding, and it goes back to, as we've talked about before, the state has not been able to find the funding to fully fund senior meals across the state 5 days a week. So this is the change that's happening within our district that's going to 4 days a week. In some districts across the state, they may be going to 3 days a week. So times are changing. We've got to adapt and change, and we think we've got a good plan to get us through at least another year here. Yes?
So if somebody wants to donate, but, I mean, we're gonna work on like groups that will actually prepare the food, cook it and all that?
Yeah,
I mean,
I would think box lunches,
Okay.
like that sack lunches, those type things. So we'll probably be buying some pizzas on some days, just trying something different and just trying to come up with different ways to make sure they have a good meal on that
And will
Wednesday.
there still be folks there like to clean up afterwards, or whoever volunteers for that Wednesday is also responsible for open and shut down?
Yes, and that another reason, if we can come up with meals that are
Gotcha.
easy to clean up, then it won't be, so taxing on the staff. Another consideration, and I'll wrap it up, is the area development district staff and the senior centers are looking at cutbacks to hours too. So that Wednesday allows them to take care of a lot of administrative duties. They have to call every participant in the programs, not just make contact with the congregate settings, but the home deliveries. That's a lot of phone calls. It equals up to about 7.5 hours a week that they have to spend on the phone calling the seniors that are getting meals delivered to them. So that day will be sort of a light day for them. So whoever's going to come in and feed them, we'd try to help clean up too. So we'll all chip in, figure out how to make it.
If someone wants to donate, who would have to check payable to?
I would say contact me and we'll figure it out. Like if you want to donate, you and I'll go in maybe and we'll share the cost on one of those Wednesdays. So
Got it.
yeah, we'll just figure it out collectively together.
Is there an amount in mind for each Wednesday? Do we have like what we would need to have each Wednesday?
That's a great question. We're going to ask them to provide us how many are coming so we'll know how many to provide. On any given day, you're probably looking at 25, 35 participants. So that, I would say for planning purposes, probably 35 to 40. Because if it's something new and unique and different, you may have a few more show up. So we're going to learn as we go with that one too, Scott. But anyway, we have till October 1st to figure that out. So more to follow on that, okay? And then the last thing I just need your input. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. We have talked about it before. We need an ordinance for roaming dogs, loose dogs. We continue to get a lot of calls at City Hall, and you may get the same feedback of dog owners, pet owners who are not keeping their pets secured and letting them roam neighborhoods. And what's happening is you've got young couples out trying to walk their kids and their dogs, and they're getting chased by other dogs. And it's totally irresponsible that people would do that. And quite frankly, I've had enough at City Hall of getting these type calls from citizens who are scared in their own neighborhoods from dogs. So I would ask you all to just give me input. If we can come up with a system to where a dog is If the animal shelter has to come out and collect a dog, then there is a fine associated with that. That's probably the best way, because people, unfortunately, money is the only way to get a lot of people's attention. But to come up with some sort of fine that would be assessed to the dog owners, that if they wanted their dog back out of the shelter, they'd have to pay some sort of fine to the city. So we'd have to work out how that's going to work. But it has gotten to a point where it's out of control with dog owners who are not being responsible. It's not fair to everybody else. So think about that. I put that on your desk, just an example of kind of what Lexington was doing. Usually you have to start off with a lower fine for a violation, and you can work your way up there. You may ask, well, why wouldn't nuisance ordinances apply? They could apply, but remember, your nuisance ordinances have to add up over a period of time before you could kick in with a fine, and then those go to the property owner, not necessarily the dog owner. So more to follow on that. All that I ask is that you all think about it. What makes sense? What would you all be willing to support? What would be a very simple ordinance we could put in place to start addressing this issue?
And currently, we do not have an ordinance
We do
regarding
not.
roaming dogs. Okay.
We do not.
When there's something,
They can be, and I'm sorry, Steve,
No,
just,
you're fine.
it can be if it's a nuisance. If
But
it's a
not-
continued nuisance,
Yeah.
we could address it through the nuisance ordinance, but we don't have
Nothing
anything
specific.
specifically
Okay.
for a roaming dog.
Okay.
Yes, sorry.
no, what was it years ago though, we couldn't do something because of the county, Mayor?
Well, here's always been the broader conversation that happens. Once you open a door and we start putting rules in place, then before you know it, we're running the shelter. That's not our intent. We don't want to have to hire
Right,
a
yes,
dog warden, a shelter, get a vehicle. You know, I don't want to have to start spending $250,000 a year on a problem that's being created by less than a dozen people.
Okay,
So there's irresponsible dog owners, and they need to, we don't have any way to hold them accountable. But if that dog gets picked up, Adam Grubb's here tonight, and it goes to his shelter, then when they come to claim that dog, he can make a notification to the city, and then we can issue a citation from there.
Right.
That's
Yes, sir.
kind of our thought process, how that could work.
Okay.
And then any monies we collect could be donated to the shelter as a donation from the city
okay.
That's a
to help
good
them
idea.
with
I
that
like that
work.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all think
definitely
about
think
it,
we
give me
should move-
feedback. I'll have a draft ordinance for you all next month.
Yeah, I definitely
I'll start
think we should
working on
move
that.
forward.
Yep.
Okay, thank you all very much.
Mayor, can I speak 1 second on that?
Sure.
Just to
since
advise you.
Yes,
The current reclaim applicable fees that come in is the first offense, less than 24 hours, there's no reclaim fee. So you could make an ordinance to absolutely change that for the city. The second offense is $50, and third offense is $75 and subsequent.
so there already is
There
a
is-
mechanism
there
in
are
place,
regulations
yeah.
that's already applied at the Montgomery County Animal Shelter. One thing that I would say to consider is, depending on the person and what type of mentality they have about their dog, whether they spend money on, getting their dog back or not, we have a very few reclaims, just FYI. And so if the dog is roaming and at large, per KRS statute, we are required to house that dog for 5 days, publicize that it has been, seized and at the shelter. After 5 days, it becomes property of Montgomery County Animal Shelter.
Okay,
At that point, they can reclaim it, but it's going to be an adoption fee at that point.
okay. Well, you and I'll get with you and
Yes,
we'll
sir.
continue the conversation.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
because
you.
I'll need your recommendations and advice to make sure it makes sense. Thank you. And Megan, I'll run it for you before we present anything. Thanks. Next item is the approval of emergency purchase of the 2026 Dodge Ram truck. We had sent that out as an emergency purchase because we found a good price on it. Nathan did not drive it down here tonight, but it has arrived. Nathan, you got anything to comment?
Just thank you all. The guy, it's a really, really nice truck. It's already set up, got snow plow, spreader, everything. All we gotta do is get the paperwork, get it on the insurance, and it's ready to go. So,
Okay.
thank you all again for taking care of it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Motion, Trumbull,
Second.
second King, any further discussion? Hold members, please.
Barnes.
Aye.
Hilton. King.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Triplett.
Thank you. Item number 11 is appoint Jeff Pendleton to the Planning and Zoning Commission. This is a county recommendation and appointment. We just need to formally appoint him. Jeff is the county surveyor. He'll be a great addition to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I'll make a motion.
Motion Barnes, second Murphy. Any further discussion? Poll the members, please.
Barnes.
Aye.
Hilton. King.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Trimble.
Councilmember Trumbull.
First reading of ordinance 2026-11, an ordinance leveling a tax and fixing the rate thereof in the city of Mount Sterling, Kentucky for the city purpose and the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2026, providing for the collecting of interest and penalties upon all taxes.
Do I have a second? Second, Roger. Discussion. Let me pull this out. I know you all looked this over. And I just want to, where's that? I just want to comment on how much I appreciate you all as a city council and Laura Tipton for how well she takes care of the revenue that we bring in. This will be the lowest tax rate since 1977. Lowest tax rate in the city of Mount Sterling since 1977. We're thankful that our assessed values keep going up, and as a result of that, our tax rate can slowly creep down. And although over Laura's objections, I crept it down about another 100th there just to lower it a bit more, but certainly we are very fortunate, so this will be like I said, something to celebrate. And I know you all take a lot of heat over certain decisions that are made in this city, but no one can argue with that. There's the results. Lowest tax rate in the city of Mount Sterling since 1977. Any further discussion? Poll members, please.
Barnes. Hilton. King. Murphy.
Aye.
Trimble.
Next item is discussion and review of ordinance 5/2021. These were in your packet. No action has to be taken on this. This is another one though that I need your all's feedback. We continue to have issues with mobile food units, and Jeanette is being overwhelmed with mobile food units. And it's great that everybody wants to come to Mount Sterling and sell. We have to be respectful of our restaurants who actually plant roots here and are doing business here 7 days a week. And we have one particular food unit that is found a great loophole, and they are selling 6 days a week out of a trailer. And we need to address that next year. The rules are already in place for this year. So I want you all to think about any recommended changes to any mobile food units, but the change, and I have not decided which would be more appropriate, 2 days a week, no more than 2 days a week or 3 days a week, but we should not have food units 6 days a week in the city. So we need to do better in that. And if we don't get a handle on that, that one trailer will become 2 and 4, and it'll multiply on us pretty quick and get out of control. So that is something that I want to bring back before you all next month. Once again, just think about what changes you think you need to see with this ordinance. She's already telling me the changes she would like to see, and then we'll look to amend that ordinance to be effective in January for next year. So it won't affect anybody this year, it would be effective next year. Okay, questions for me? Okay, thank you. I had 2 items, and I apologize. This one came in late. Megan was able to review it on Friday. The county moved forward with just approving a, where's it at? memorandum of understanding, if I could pass that around. And I tried to provide